You know
Yeah, I can't thank Coach Elder enough because, I mean, that's pretty gutsy to take a chance on a freshman when you're, that deep into the playoffs. And I think talking with the offense coordinator now, I think he wanted to make the move a little earlier, but, I was actually hurt. So, I probably played at 80% when I was playing. And so I didn't get to play that full
Crash
100%
course. The
until
man played at 80%, learned the playbook in 4 days, and still beat Lakota.
Right, because I was like, what you
still
doing
beat
four or
Lakota,
five
man.
times that game?
I think I was 6 for 7.
Yeah, I was like,
100
man.
The man was 6 for 7. Welcome to Recruited, the podcast that goes behind the scenes with the top high school athletes in the country. Join us as we dive deep into the untold stories, challenges, and triumphs of these exceptional athletes being recruited by the top programs. All right, welcome to Recruited. Today we bring to you Mr. Ohio Football, Gatorade Player of the Year, Mohler starting quarterback,
Yes, sir.
4-star athlete, dual sport athlete, Matt Ponatoski. Welcome, man. What's going on, bro?
I'm good.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
How things been going, man? Just tell us a little bit how things been going in the recruiting process for you so far.
Yeah, it's been busy. I think I kind of had the baseball kind of figured out. That started last August, and you finally figure that out, and then you have a good football season, and all of a sudden football kind of blows up. So it's been the last few months have been super busy, kind of stressful, but it's also I realize I'm in a spot where not a lot of people are, so it's a blessing, and I try to take advantage of every moment.
Absolutely. So you had 4,080 some plus yards, 50 plus touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. So I would say that's winning Gatorade Player of the Year again. I mean that probably pick up your recruitment a little bit, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
The man is doing numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely my sophomore year was kind of here and there. You didn't know who you really had interest from, and then after the season, it kind of took off, and then it's just trying to find the right school that'll let me do both.
Do both. So that is a desire of yours, right? To do both in college.
Yes, sir.
So you've been playing, training and playing baseball since you were 3, right? Football since you were 5. So kind of like that, has that always been your vision to play both, or you leaning a little bit more towards baseball early on, and now that you're kind of like a baller in both, tell us about how that came to fruition and saying, hey, I can really do both at a high level. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think from a young kid, it was kind of like, I'm going to play both. And then you get older into the 8th grade, the 9th grade. And I kind of thought, I'm getting recruited in baseball really heavy. I don't really know where I stand in football because, didn't really get out to the national level like I did in baseball. And then all of a sudden, I get an opportunity my freshman year, take advantage of it, get to start my sophomore year, play really well my junior year. And honestly, it was kind of this year where I was like, I'm going to play both in college.
Nice.
And, still haven't found that spot yet and trying to find that perfect spot. But I would say this past year, these past few months, I've kind of made the decision that I'm going to play both.
That's what's up. I think Greg has a question about.
Yeah, so I want to pivot back a little bit. You've been very successful. Obviously, a junior now, going into your senior year coming up. But I want to pivot back to your freshman year, and I want to give you a date, and I want to see if you remember this date. And I hate to say this date. I'm sorry to the community out there, but I want to see if he knows about this. So November 18th, 2022. What does that date mean for you?
First varsity start against Lakota West. I think it was 4th round of the playoffs.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah. So
come on, hold on. Because I need to know how this went down. So you go from playing in the daytime, JV, to playing under the lights. Not only under the lights on Friday.
Regional 4 championship.
Regional 4 champ. I mean, you're playing in the thick of things.
Yeah.
At Princeton, sold out crowd against one of the toughest defense in the state.
Yeah.
Take us back. When did you get the call to say, hey, you're the guy? And then take us through what was going on. What in your mind? Did you man, I've been waiting for you to give me this call, or it's here now? Take us through that.
I think it started in the summer. They brought me up for a few practices, but they also brought up a lot of other kids. So I didn't really think anything too much of it, but I think the quarterback coach at the time, he could just tell that it kind of came out of the hand right. And then what's funny is I wasn't playing freshman or JV. I was actually hurt. So I think I played one freshman game, 2 JV games that year. And I was out for like the last 6 weeks of the season, like leading up to the playoffs. And I think I'm pretty sure we were on our like way back home from church, and my dad gets a call from Coach Elder, who was the head coach at the time. He said,
"Coming from church." I'm just gonna say, throw it out there. He's coming from church.
He said, "So you're gonna stop faking your injury?" And I was like, "What's he talking about?" He was like, "You're gonna play for us this week," and I was like, "Okay." Like I don't even know the playbook, so I learned the playbook in 4 days. By the offense coordinator would say, "What's this play?" I'll draw it up on a piece of paper, send it back to him, and he'd either tell me what I did right, if it was right or wrong. And I went out and I didn't play, I played pretty sloppy for my standards, but, I got the job done. And honestly, I think we relied on the run game a lot because, we had a senior running back, and then, we had Jordan Marshall. So it made my job easy, but going up against, Lakota West and that defense, I feel like it was all 5 stars. Like we go into the game plan was, stay away from him and stay away from him. And I was like, so basically just don't throw the ball.
So y'all won the game, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, the man took a crash course. 4 days to prep for Lakota and end up beating y'all.
And I want to give his coach a lot of, even though I was on the opposing side watching, I want to give his coach a lot of credit for having that foresight. Because I think it was a little bit like that Alabama situation where Jalen Hurts was starting all year, but Nick Saban knew in his back pocket he had Tua in the back, and I had people in those Mohler circles at the time, and they're like, man, we're confident in our quarterback, but we got a freshman back here who could spin it. And then when I seen that you guys made that transition, I was like, damn, because we was already dealing with that line you guys had. Then you had to deal with Jalen or Jordan Marshall. And then it's like, man, if this kid gets to spinning it, man, it might be a long day. Because at the time, our strength was our DBs. Not like now where we're big on pass rush and things like that. But so I kind of knew y'all were going to stay away from those DBs a little bit. But yeah, that was definitely a big moment, in Cincinnati for Mohler to make that bold move, man. To start a freshman, Region 4, arguably the hardest region to win in the state of Ohio. And it was a great moment for you, man.
Yeah, I can't thank Coach Elder enough because, that's pretty gutsy to take a chance on a freshman when you're, that deep into the playoffs. And I think talking with the offense coordinator now, I think you wanted to make the move a little earlier, but, I was actually hurt. So, I probably played at 80% when I was playing. And so I didn't get to play that full 100%
course. The
until
man played at 80%, learned the playbook in 4 days, and still beat Lakota.
Right, because I was like, what you
still
four
beat
or 5
Lakota,
times that game?
I think I was 6 for 7.
Yeah, I was like, man.
The man was 6 for 7.
So one of the most prestigious awards you could win as an individual in the state of Ohio is Mr. Ohio Football. You know what I mean? So talk about what that means to win that award for you and your family. You know what I mean? And what would you say was your Mr. Football moment last year?
I think as far as me and my family, it just shows like all the work that we as a family have put in that nobody sees, and all the work that I put in that nobody really sees behind the scenes. And I think it's more than me, and I know, Mr. Football, like I obviously had to have a really good season, but I think it's a team award, and it gets handed to one person, but Javon makes some catches that you just put it up there, and it's like Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase, just throw it up there, he's gonna catch it somehow. But honestly, I think from game one I kind of knew like it was like kind of like my time to take over the team, and kind of it felt like take over Cincinnati football. I went out there first game against Princeton, and it kind of just felt natural, like everything was gonna click, and I think I threw for over 400 and had 4 touchdowns, and it was a sold out game, like super hyped up, king of the block. So I think from then it kind of was like a confidence booster that like, I'm meant to do this. And I think after that, it kind of just took off.
Yeah, that's amazing, and I love to hear about the confidence. We were just talking before we got on with our producer about confidence. He has a daughter, a young daughter who is super confident. He's asking me some questions like, should I tame the confidence down? Like, no, you need confidence. Confidence is the key, right? To any sport and anything that you're doing in life is really have a high level of confidence. That's what you call like getting in the zone. Yeah, it's really performing at the ultimate confidence. So can you take me back a little bit, when you're in your younger days, or not even so much in your younger days, just like what have your parents done for you to help you prepare for these moments? Because you mentioned that, a lot of people don't see what you do behind the scenes. And we like to try to bring that stuff to the forefront. Can you talk through like maybe your workout regimen or some things that you've done early on in your early career to help you prepare for these moments?
Yeah, I think, early, I'm just in my life, I was just raised right. It's set to a certain standard on how you're going to treat people and how you're going to live life and how you're going to treat, school and sports and just your daily life. So just, having that outlook on life and just living life the right way and doing things the right way. And then, both my parents played at the Division II level, and it's probably from the lack of opportunities that they have. So taking advantage of every opportunity I have. And, my dad by the time I could walk, like we're doing something just, active and just trying to get better each day. So taking opportunities and not, wasting them, but taking advantage of every opportunity, I think is where I can, sit in the seat and be happy at where I'm at today. And I know that, if this is my peak, then I didn't do what I want in life. Right. But, right now and the work I've put in, I'm pretty happy with myself.
Yeah, and when we talk about that a lot on here, and we hear the top athletes, and we talk about the work, and we've mentioned this multiple times, Greg. It's not the work they did last week. It's not the work they did last month. It's a consistent effort of demand of being excellent, and not how you do one thing is how you do everything, and it has to, and it starts from a very early age, and it's hard to catch these guys when they peak, when they hit that rhythm, they have so many reps behind them. It's hard to catch, and it's beautiful to see when that flower blossom and you guys starting to get the accolades that you deserve for putting that type of work in on a consistent basis.
And you got to have people who believe in you. You know what I mean? Like your parents, I'm sure, from experience being athletes, I'm sure that they saw something in you early. Like I said, I knew people in the Mohler circles early that said, man, this kid's been spinning it since he's been in second grade. You know what I mean? So, you have to have people who believe in you. So talk about more transitions of people who believed in you. Mark Elder steps down. New coach comes in. How does that transition affect you? And what did he put in your head to let you know that, hey, this is going to be your program moving forward?
Yeah, I think when Coach Elder, stepped down and, I didn't really, it was kind of like out of the blue. I didn't really see it coming. But, when Coach B stepped in, Coach Bathiani stepped in, I think he challenged me, and I think he challenged Jordan too, because Jordan was an upcoming senior. Like, this is your guys' team. Like, it's not going to be, yes, I'm the head coach, but it's going to be led by you. So, he was like, everything's going to be earned. Like, you're walking into your sophomore season. I don't really care who you are. Like, you're going to have to go earn the spot. So, I'm just competitive. So, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to show that I'm better than you every day and try to show that I'm better than you every day, even if I'm not. So, just going out with that mindset, I think, Coach B loved it. Jordan was always pushing, everybody on the team. So,
he's an intense guy.
I mean, he's also the guy that's gonna have his arm around you, but he's just that same guy is gonna push you to your limits.
What you guys don't know, Mohler is on a prestigious run right now. He's speaking about his teammate Jordan Marshall, who's at Michigan right now. In my eyes, from what I've seen, probably one of the top 10 high school kids I've ever seen play football. You guys are on a prestigious run right now. 2023, he was Mr. Football. 2024, you're Mr. Football. So what does that say about the program that you're in?
Yeah, I think we're not done. I think everybody thought, he left. We had, a few big guys leave. I think, Mohler just like it's reload and we're gonna go at it again. Like I think our off-season training and what Coach Gray, what he's done in the last few years, it's he pushes us to the max, and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna go from the first whistle to the last whistle. We're gonna play as hard as we can, no matter what the score is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So take me back through like the transition from a recruiting standpoint for you, right? So it came a time when colleges was coming to Mohler and they would say, "Hey, Matt, nice to meet you. Go back to class." But now the conversations, probably have changed a little bit, since you had such success lately, right? So can you talk through like how that transition happened, and then also like, did anybody leave a bad taste in your mouth because like you didn't believe in me, you were just sending me back to class, but now you want to have this elongated conversation?
No, it's all love between everybody that's come in because honestly, my freshman year or sophomore year, like kind of undersized, had some decent numbers, so I didn't really expect much, but I think it transitioned from exactly what you said. Like it was a shake their hand, say what's your name, like they were trying to figure out who you were. And now they're calling you down and you're there for an hour and a half talking to the offense coordinator and the head coach, not the recruiting coordinator that's a defensive guy. So, there was like, that last recruiting period, I wasn't in class too much.
Wow.
And I was taking official visits. So, I was taking online school basically. So, you have a lot of good conversations about, what their style of offense is, the people, their culture, and you really kind of find out how much interest they really have in you. So it was a really cool, few weeks.
Yeah, I think you dropped a real good nugget too. Man, is that like when that position coach come down, it's different. Right? Not a recruiting analyst, you know what I'm saying? Not someone that came to see somebody in another school and just stopped by. Yeah. But you're a priority when that actual position coach come in and have that conversation with you. And I want to pivot also from that point. I know you had a pretty good relationship with an offensive coordinator at Ohio State. Chip Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Talk to us about like what was that like, having those conversations and establishing that relationship, and then what has happened since he kind of transitioned to the NFL.
Yeah, I met Chip Kelly. It was probably 3 weeks or 2 weeks into this past season, and he came in and he started talking, and to this day, he was talking in words that I don't know, like some terminology that I don't know. But I built a relationship with him and got to pick his brain a little bit, actually a lot, because I feel like we talked. It felt like once, twice a week.
Wow.
If it was through text, through call. So it was really cool because you see that guy and you're like, oh, like I see him on TV a lot, and he's like in here, talking to me, shaking my hand, watching film, and watching me throw. So, when he got the job, I texted him and said congrats, and he wished me luck on my future. So he's been really cool to me, and if Ohio State doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But it was a cool experience to be able to build a relationship with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've met him too, man. He's one of the very meticulous. He knows a lot of football, man. Like it's really like talking to a football encyclopedia when you're talking to Chip Kelly. So that's a cool story. But I'm gonna give you a couple names, man, and I want to see if you know what these guys have in common. So Jameis Winston, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Kyler Murray, Johnny Manziel, Russell Wilson. What do all those guys have in common?
Baseball guys, also football guys.
Yes, those guys were all drafted by the MLB, but chose to continue their path in football. So where are you on that process? You're a stud athlete on both sides. So where are you in that process?
Yeah, I think I'm in an interesting spot because I think I might be in a spot where I could potentially get drafted out of high school for baseball, and that'd be a cool opportunity. And that doesn't mean I'm for sure going to go to the draft if I do get drafted. And but as of right now, I'm going to go into college and I'm going to go play 2 sports. I'm going to try to be the best at 2 sports and not turn down any opportunities that I have. And God's going to lead me in a way to where I'm going to know what's right and I'm not really gonna have to make the decision. I'm gonna let the game come to me, and it'll just go from there.
But Matt, I told you this ain't the show to be humble. So like when you say I might get drafted, we ain't talking about, draft got 20, 30 rounds. We ain't talking about round 22, round 23. We're talking about top, for round 1 or 2. You know what I mean? Where you could possibly go. So when coaches are having these conversations,
is that you're like 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Is that your
the
projections?
latest? There was one that came out yesterday. I was 34, so that'd be like early second round.
Yeah. First or second round draft pick.
What does that look like? What's the value? What's the value on? Like, do you know?
It's a whole lot of money. It kind of depends on like the team. I think the team can throw out a good amount of money in the third round, and you can go like so. It's more the money slot, not where you. I mean, it's cool to get drafted in the first round. Like, everybody wants to do that, but it's more like the money slot because now NIL is a thing in college. So, but yeah.
So is that a part of your decisioning? Is that part of the conversation as you kind of trying to figure out like, am I going to college, or am I going to the draft? Does that kind of play a role in your NIL value? Like, how do you process that and kind of make a decision what's best for you and your family?
Yeah, I think money's not, a deciding factor to me, but it's definitely something that you think about in your decision, just as far as, am I going to go to college and then make, try to go to the pros or just go straight to the pros because the money's right. But it's definitely something that, I'm, trying to take advantage of, especially in college right now. The money's just kind of crazy. And I think they're going to, there's new rules coming out, I think, pretty soon. So
revenue share.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'm trying to take advantage of it, and I have an advisor that helps me out a lot. So I kind of just stay out of that stuff and focus on what I need to focus on, because I think when I get caught up in that, that's when, you start to feel pressure. And I've never felt pressure in my life, but, I don't want to have that feeling. So I kind of just, stay out of the numbers, stay out of all that, and just go play.
I like it. But the priority for you is that you're playing both sports in college. You decide to go to college.
Yeah,
like that has to be one of the boxes that the university checks.
100%. And that's the schools that I've talked to and that, I'm getting close to making a decision on. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, nice.
And you're in a very, very unique place, man. So stick to those values that you have. Because like you said, money is not going to be a big deciding factor, because I think down the line, you going to have it coming. Whether it's from football, whether it's from baseball, whether it's from NIL, whether it's from marketing, you're going to have those opportunities. So stick close to, or maybe talk about, what are some of your core values in the recruiting process? Like what's important to you?
Yeah, I think the culture is huge. I'm trying to go to a place where the coaches want me and the people want me as much as I want to go to that school. Yeah. I think, the success that the coaches have had there, are they going to be there for a while? Have they been there for a while? How do they get people to the next level? And, when they get there, how long are they staying there? Are they going to be a 1-year guy, a 2-year guy? And I think that's more like baseball. I think in football, you got to go do your thing in football. Yeah. But baseball, it's more like, the development and stuff like that. And I mean, even in football, you got to develop. So those are like probably the two things. Like the people there, they got to, impress me as far as like the people that I want to go to a school where when I come out of the school 3 years later, like I'm going to be a better person and a better human being and set up for life after sports. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So on these visits, right? You got a short amount of time. I know we spend day or 2 days at a university, but like I think one of the things that is a challenge to really measure is the cultural piece. But it's extremely important because you want to be around the people that you're gonna spend the next 4 years, 3-4 years with. Like, how do you assess that when you go on these visits? Like, is this the right cultural fit?
I think it's the energy that they bring. Like, can I relate to the energy that the coaches are bringing, how they're interacting with their players, and then just the overall. I feel like you can kind of see it. Like, you just kind of know when like the team is kind of just like a group. Like we were talking earlier about when you guys went on a visit, and it's the last spring practice before they go on spring break, and people are usually running out, but they're staying, and they just hung around. So you notice things like that, and
Absolutely.
I think that's something that I want to be a part of.
Absolutely like that.
We can't stress this enough. Like to all the athletes and the parents out there watching this interview, we cannot stress enough of how when you go on campus, you got to feel the love.
Yeah.
You know, there had to be a transition period where you went from just being a fan of a program to where, man, I got to go somewhere that really values my talents.
Yeah. Sure.
You know what I mean? So when you're on these campuses, like what are some of the key conversation points you like to hear when you're being recruited by these schools though?
Yeah, I think when, a school talks about, money and stuff like that, I think it's just like, it's not a big thing like I want to talk
see
about.
right through
I'm
that.
just, when we can have like a down to earth conversation about, what their family's doing that weekend, or how they've liked, if they're new to the coaching staff or only been there a few years, like what they like about the state or, the campus and stuff like that. And, when they can get personal about, what they saw in my film, and they can give me direct feedback or what they see in my swing. So just really down to earth conversations, and not, the extracurriculars that everybody wants to hear about.
Absolutely. So me personally, I think you've been disrespected a little bit in the recruiting process. I've seen you for a minute, man, and there's not a lot of quarterbacks who could go through their mechanics, go through their progressions. You could just see it on the film. Like, you are a true quarterback, so right now you're ranked the number 9 quarterback in the whole class of 2026. These are the new rankings that came. I finally put you on there. I'm glad you guys finally put my guy on the list, man. Like, what's going on? The man's throwing for 4,500 yards, 50 touchdowns, 3 picks. Like, if he ain't on the list, who on it? You know what I mean? So are you happy with where you are on the list now? And and then, so what has that process been like leading up to then, before those rankings came out? When you look at those lists, like, man, I know I'm better than this dude. Like,
yeah, I think it's something, honestly, and rankings are good. Like, I think you can be, you're kind of seen and people know your name, but seeing those names and being like, oh, I can go do that. So like, I'm not really surprised by the rankings, and I'm gonna go out there and show why, I think I should be better than and ranked higher than this guy. But at the end of the day, like, that's not what's gonna satisfy me. I'm gonna be satisfied knowing that, I'm going to work harder than that person and go out there and I'm going to do my thing, good or bad. And I'm going to be happy with it because I know I put in the right amount of work.
Because I think it's the baby face, man. I think if you let your beard grow a little bit or something, the coaches might be
keep
like,
it clean. Don't listen to him, man. Keep it clean, baby.
I'm a baby face killer.
Yeah, you feel me? Baby face killer. You heard that? Let's go.
Right, there you go. Talk about it. Yeah.
Let me, so adversity, right? Like, our athletes in life have, faced with some adversity, faced with some challenges, maybe some self-doubt. Things may didn't go right. Can you take us through a time where you've been challenged and you've overcame that and it's kind of made you better? And what did you learn from that situation?
Yeah, I think it's not like a major like hit on me, but like 4th grade-ish, I tore my ACL in my right leg, and that's obviously a major, surgery that has to be done. And, you got a year of therapy after that. So I think it just taught me resiliency, because I think at that stage in life, everything's going right for a lot of people, as far as, you're going out and you're the best player, and, you're getting a hit every at bat, and you're throwing 4 touchdowns, and everything's going right. So when it just gets knocked away from you, your mind goes into a state of like, why'd this happen to me? And I think, my family that's where my family helps me out. It's just, like, you're going to come back, you're going to be stronger from it. So I think it taught me, like, take advantage of every day, like, because, the next day is not guaranteed. And I think that's just in life. It's a year of my life. Like, I was going to recover from it, and I was going to be all right. And, I'm in the position I am today, and it's, I'm blessed. So I think it just taught me to be resilient. Like, it's a year of work that, I have to come back, and nobody saw me. And I think I came back on the field the next time, and there was just a new love for the game, and love for, being out there with my friends and my buddies, and going out there and competing. So I think just being resilient has helped me a lot in, the last few years of my life.
Yeah, that's real powerful, and I like what you said about is in the grand scheme of things, right? It's just a year of your life. We just seen what's that yesterday? Juju just went down. The basketball player,
Tough. Yeah.
went down with an ACL, and in the moment, right, you see those things. It's like, man, it's huge. It's a I almost feel like it's a defining moment. Like it challenges you, but when you look back on it, it's like 12 months out of your life. It's just really just 12 months of you working, getting better spiritually connected, finding that resilience, building yourself mentally and physically back up so you can come out and be a better person. So sometimes, when you have to sit down from those injuries, maybe that, God just wants to take you through a process to help you build and be stronger, so you can run through the doors that you have open in the future. So yeah, I like that you said that.
And so D spoke about adversity a little bit. I'm gonna ask you about some foundational pieces in you. You know what I mean? So being at Mohler, obviously it's a standard there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys,
he's scared of Mohler, by the way.
I
I meant to say this early on. Like he has a fear.
We ain't scared.
Like,
we ain't scared.
He truly feels that they'll never be successful at a program because you guys are existence. Which I mean,
They're not lying.
I hear them. I just want to throw that out there, let you know that that's his take on Mohler.
So it's a standard at Mohler, man. You guys come there, with the shirt, the Mohler tie, So talk about what it's like being a Mohler, man. What are those expectations on a daily basis there?
Yeah, I think they expect you to just carry yourself the right way and how you treat people on a daily basis, no matter if they're your friend that you see every day or somebody that's coming in to go pray in the chapel or meet a teacher. I think it's just a way of life that they're trying to set you up for after you get done with Mohler. Like they don't want you to just put on a face while you're in school or when other people are around. Like it's just, I think, the way of life that they want you to live through through your values and through Christ. I think they just want, they set a standard, and it's not that you have to meet that standard, but once you get in and you're kind of past your freshman year. I think midway through your freshman year, kind of like this is how I should act, and I shouldn't be messing around. And I think you see it throughout the school as people kind of grow up, and I look at the seniors now when they were sophomores, and I'm kind of like, oh, like this kid's like, why'd you messing around? And now that they're seniors and they're kind of matured and all grown up, and they're kind of setting the standard for the school. So I think walking in next year, like that's going to be what me and my classmates do, is just kind of set that standard.
Because walking that path ain't for everybody, not just at Mohler, but at a lot of the Catholic schools, Mohler, St. X, Elder, it takes a particular type of athlete to be in those programs. You know what I mean? So I definitely commend you.
And even more so that I just want to break this down to layman terms for you guys, what he said here, right? Your circle is extremely important. What your circle do, eventually you're going to buy into that and start operating in that fashion. So you may be moving left, for a little while, and then you get around the right group. Over time, right, those characteristics, those habits, that discipline is going to wear off on you, and you'll start operating in that fashion. And it can be vice versa, right? Like if you're hanging around the wrong crowd, you may be a good kid, but over time, you consistently being around that group, those characteristics, those inconsistencies are going to wear on you, and you'll as soon pick up on those values and those habits. So I think what you said about the Mohler is about that culture, right? When you get into that culture, you may not fit into there originally, but you're gonna adjust and adapt to it because everybody around you is operating in that fashion, right? If you was a baby and when you first started learning language, your mother was teaching you Spanish. You're gonna be fluent in Spanish,
right?
But she taught you English, so you're fluent in English. It's like you become a habit of what you see and what you do and what you hear. So thanks for bringing that point up. That was a very good point.
I think it's everybody. There's a culture, but I think everybody's still unique in how they act, and everybody still has those that uniqueness about them. And I think it's how you can build a good culture is everybody bringing their little piece and kind of incorporating it into into a overall really good school.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So we know quarterback is a lonely journey. You know what I mean? It can only be one of you guys. You know, it's 4 linemen, 4 DBs, 3, linebackers, multiple offensive, but it's only one quarterback. You know what I mean? So, with it being such a lonely journey, it's not a lot of like group workouts you can do with a lot of guys. So take a moment to give people some flowers who've really helped you elevate to where you are right now with your mechanics, your beautiful release. Like, who are some of those people that are helping you in this quarterback journey?
Yeah, I think to start, it would be my dad. Like I think he played JV quarterback. He ended up playing college baseball, but we go back in the backyard and start slinging it around. And then, at 5 years old, we were jet sweep pass.
Yeah.
Shout out to the good fathers.
Yeah, me and kid named Connor Kuzo, who plays linebacker at Mohler now. We're up there in Ross and jet sweep pass, and we're throwing it in first and second grade. So I think kind of came natural. And then you start working out with Justin Cornwall. He's at Winton Woods right now as a wide receiver coach. Juke, he's done so much for me. He's getting guys out there every weekend, and then putting me through footwork, because honestly, the first few years of being a quarterback is just go out there and sling it. And it's still kind of like that, but he put like the foundation to the footwork and stuff like that. And then, freshman year, Coach Digman, just, how to break down a defense, because, this probably isn't good, but, Madden kind of taught me like what cover 4 was, what quarters is and stuff like that. So, and then, Coach K right now, he's just kind of, teaching me the mental side of the game.
That's your quarterback coach?
Yeah, Coach,
okay.
Yeah. And, still breaking down, a little more complex defenses and, pre-snap and post-snap reads and stuff like that. So, I thank all of them, and, you got to thank like, wide receivers, because, I'm not always perfect, but, just honestly, it's go out there and just have fun and sling it and be an athlete. I think I can contribute a lot of it and, give a lot of it to baseball, like the off-platform stuff. That's all baseball. I just go out there and, get a weird arm slot going and just go be an athlete at that point.
So should all quarterbacks play Madden?
I don't play video games anymore, but I think if they go through something like COVID, sixth grade, I think I started taking more seriously. And now when I play Madden now, like people are like, oh, I don't want to do this, because like you're like making plays based off what you're seeing in Madden. So, I think it's a good start, because I think Madden gives you some basic, coverages. Like, so, yeah, I mean, that's not a terrible thing to do. I think it's pretty good, but I think as you get going, you need somebody that knows the game of football to kind of sit down there and break it down with you. Because I know when that happened, I feel like when I kind of took, a little jump. And, my first year with Coach Consis, who's my quarterback coach right now, we started that journey of, kind of breaking down film. And then, that off season, like before this past year, we went hard. Like, we're breaking down film. Like, what'd you see here? Why did you make this decision? And that's what we're doing right now again. So,
absolutely.
I think going to this season, it's a lot of confidence, because, what you get in high school, your pre-snap is a lot of what you're going to get your post-snap. So there's only a few schools that are going to rotate safeties and stuff like that and bring simulated pressures. So if I can know that, like I feel like that's where the game just comes a lot easier. Like I'm making confident decisions rather than, oh, I see it. Oh, I'm a second late. Now it's a pick. So,
absolutely.
I think breaking down film and knowing the game deeper than just going out there and being an athlete, because I think being an athlete's a big thing, like go out there and play, but also being a step ahead of everybody is where, I think you can have easy success.
Absolutely. You're dropping a lot of nuggets today. So, Madden, you can start off Madden, run the coverages through Madden, you know what I'm saying? But then you need to get to that film work. Film work is critical, especially like that at every level. You have to be able to analyze film. And if you want to be able to move fast on the football field, make quick decisions, and feel confident about those moves, you have to study film. Man, I know coaches have a hard time getting all the athletes. They be watching the reports and they see, these athletes not watching film. You're doing yourself a disjustice. Yeah. Like mine, he watching film. Mm-hmm. When you ask about, how can a young athlete cornerback be able to make plays, in the biggest moment, is because very predictable. We watch film. We understand tendencies, right? So watch film, guys. Yeah. Shout out to Huddle.
But you guys kind of understand that because of talk about the level of competition. You know what I mean? You guys play. You guys ain't just playing Cincinnati guys. Yeah. You know what I mean? You guys are playing a national schedule. Teams out of North Carolina. You got to even go up north. Play teams like St. Edwards and things like that. So talk about how that level of competition, speeds up your mental side of the game.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not prepared as far as the mental side, you have no chance.
Yeah.
You have zero chance to go play good. And we played the North Carolina team in this past year, and they played straight cover one. Like they just made plays. So I don't even think that was from a lack of preparation. But I feel like if you aren't prepared, like you don't stand a chance, because then you're thinking about the game like, oh, like what are they running? What do they do? And then you're playing the game. So you're just not playing the game as fast. So if I know that I'm prepared and walking into the game, like I can just play with a different level of speed with the offense overall, and then just, going through my reads, like I'm like, that's not going to be their pre-snap, or, and on this down, on this yardage, like they've done this a lot. So I just try to, do as much as I can and not overthink, because, they obviously have a game plan coming into it also. But, I think where we grew as an offense was, we didn't let our first and second drive kind of, get us rattled, because, I mean, even the first half of Princeton, the first week of the year, we didn't really do anything, but we come into halftime and we kind of, adjust to what they do. And I think, making adjustments is what, really helped us. And so, going in with a game plan, but then being able to alter the game plan and find out what's working that day and what they're doing that day and adjust off what they're doing.
Awesome. Nice.
Awesome. Well, I got one final question. So when we turn the film on, or when scouts, recruiters turn that film on, like, what do you want them, when they shut it down, what do you want them to leave knowing about who you are as a player? And then not only who you are as a player, who are you as far as just a human being? What's your character like? So first, let's start out with athleticism, though. Who are you as a player?
I think I'm a competitor. Actually, I know I'm a competitor. Like, I'm gonna go out there and, I'm gonna go give it 127% every time I go out, and on every play. And I'm gonna let you know about it if I'm better than you that day. So go out there with some confidence and play with a little swag. But I think it's pretty easy on the film to know that I can throw it with a little bit of juice and it comes out clean. And I'm a guy that can move in the pocket very well and like sense the pressure and be able to escape and throw off platform. And then just being able to be a guy that can go through a progression. I'm not looking at 1-2. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Love it.
So I think they come off film and it's a pure passer with a lot of intelligence in the pocket and a lot of intelligence just as far as knowing the offense.
I love it. I also love that he said 127%. I ain't never heard nobody say 127. Then you're 110, 120. He gonna give you an extra 7% on top of that. I love that. Yeah. Out the field, who are you?
I think I'm a really down to earth human being. Like, I'm gonna be where my feet are and not look too far ahead or dwell in the past. I think I'm somebody that's, a pretty easy person to talk to. I like to be, social, but, I also enjoy, time to myself, and just going to try to be a good human being overall. I'm not going to treat one person better than I treat the other. I'm just going to try to live life the right way through Christ, and just try to be a person that everybody enjoys to be around.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. So who are some quarterbacks, like pro and college, that you kind of look up to or model your game after?
I think a good one would be C.J. Stroud. Like, that's kind of like a guy that I think super smart with the football. Has a super strong arm, and when he gets out of the pocket, I don't think he's necessarily looking to run. Like I think he's athletic to run. Just I feel like I'm, you know, I have enough athleticism to get out of the pocket and go get some yards. But I feel like when he gets out of the pocket, he's keeping his eyes downfield to make a throw, downfield. And I think that's where our offense had a lot of success. Just that scramble drill, just to be able to get a chunk 30 yards here and there. So I think that's a comparison that I like. In college, I don't know. I think that's an interesting one because I feel like the game's kind of shifting. Yeah. So I couldn't give you a good answer on the college.
Well, that's cool. You said C.J. Stroud because I don't know if it's the number or what. You got both for a 7, but when I watch film, that's definitely who I seen.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a person too, like he's a man of Christ, and he lets people that he gets interviewed by, like he lets them know that he can do all things through Christ, and he thanks Christ for everything that he's done in the position he's in. So I think the human being overall, and I'm not surprised by his success because he's just living the right way and he's being the right type of person.
Awesome.
I got to bring this up every episode, and we've only been interviewing the top athletes in the country. Every one of those athletes has a spiritual connection. They talk about Christ first. Read it how you want to read it, take it how you want to take it. But I'm just saying there's some consistency there. All right. And I'm a firm believer. And I'm just saying, everyone that's sat in this chair has had that discussion. In my line.
No, absolutely.
Take it how you want to take it.
Absolutely.
All right, Greg. I think Greg has a pop quiz for you for the last question.
Well, I got two pop quiz questions for you. I got 2 pop quizzes for you. So, we know you're very worldly, in sports, football, baseball, but there's a basketball aspect too that we like to talk about on this show sometimes, so if you had to
Hold on. Where are you from? Are you from Ohio?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've been in Cincinnati my whole life.
You've been in Cincinnati your whole life. So I just want to preference this by saying that he's been in Cincinnati, Ohio, his entire life. So his answer may be a little bit biased. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
So if you had to choose, man, and you just roll the balls out, who would you say is your basketball GOAT?
Oof. I feel like it has to be Michael Jordan.
Come on, man. Let's go.
It's a wrap.
Go.
It's a wrap. Turn this show off, man.
Hold on. See, this is coming from Mr. Ohio Football, Gatorade Player of the Year. I mean, you hear the interview. The guy's very analytical. He understands sports. He gets it. That's why he had it. What?
Matt, you just broke my heart, man.
Come on.
I feel like I could go get some buckets in an NBA game right now. I think the level.
We can win a couple of games together.
Hey, man, wrap this up, man. Wrap this show up, man.
I told you the man is smart, man. Hey, boy, hey, man, we gonna do this again.
Oh man. So okay, man, I got you. So what is it now? 300 to 1.
It doesn't even matter.
300 to 1 now.
This is a Mr. Ohio Football.
You're right.
I'm just saying.
I give it to you. Hey, I respect your opinion, man.
You see how the man break down film? He understands it. He gets it.
So to end the show, I want to give you 3 things, and I want you to give me your bold prediction for these three things I bring up. Okay. So first, I'm gonna say who's gonna be 2025 Mr. Ohio Football.
It's got to be me.
Back to back.
Okay. Back to
That's
back.
that Jordan mentality. That's that Jordan mentality. You know what I'm saying? Jordan mentality. Back to back.
It's why not me?
Come on, man.
I think it's. I'm not saying it's mine to lose, but I think going into the season, I think that's like if I'd be stupid not to have that confidence. And I think confidence and arrogance are 2 different things because I'm not going to be arrogant about it, but I'm going to be confident and I'm going to go do my thing every time I step on the field, and it's still going to be the same competitiveness because people are going to be coming at me, so I'm going to be coming right back at you.
Come on, man. Talk to him.
Nice. I love it, man. I love the mentality. Second thing I want to see, bold prediction. 2025 D1 state champs. Who we got?
Crusaders by 1,000.
By 1,000.
By 1,000.
By 1,000. That's what I'm talking about.
We're coming back with a vengeance. It's it left a sour taste in our mouth, and I mean we've been going 6 a.m.s 3 times a week and 1 time after school. we've been doing it for a few months now, so I don't think we're not gonna dwell on it. I think we're gonna realize that we're gonna have a sour taste in our mouth coming out next season. So we're gonna come out with a little fire in our guts.
So that means, hold on. In order for you guys to win by 1,000, that means eventually Lakota West at some point goes down.
Hey, no, man. Hey, we gonna be right there. We gonna be right there. We gonna be right there with them.
If we see them this year,
we gotta see what happens.
Yeah,
we gotta play the game.
Hold on, here's my bold prediction. If y'all see each other this year, what's happening?
How much you guys lose?
Yeah.
You guys lost a good amount?
Huh?
Did you guys lose a good amount, like players?
Not too much. I honestly thought last year. I thought that was our best shot against you guys.
You see, he got a
I thought we
high-pitched
had
voice.
a great
That voice
I thought
went
we
up.
had great offense, defense. It's just we got off a bad start against X, and that's what happens.
We lost some, but I mean it's Mohler. We're gonna reload and we're gonna
Same
go
with us.
at it. So
same
it'll be
with
a
us.
good game. I feel like if we
Who wins the game, Lakota or
Lakota.
Mohler? You say
I
Lakota.
say Lakota. Why
Mohler by
would I?
21.
Mohler by 21. You heard it here first on Recruiting.
Okay, I mean that's bold, but
Right.
I mean I can't say Lakota's gonna win. So
Yeah, right. Talk about it. Like I said, this ain't the place to be humble. And so my last bold prediction: best quarterback in the country. Who is it?
I mean I don't see anybody that I can't go compete with. So I'm gonna say me because I'll go show you that I'm better than you, and even if you are better than me on that day, I'm gonna come back the next day and I'm gonna show you why I'm better than you again. So
Awesome.
That's the supreme confidence that I feel like you have to have, and that I feel like I do have. So I'm gonna go compete every day.
Keep
Let's
that mentality,
go.
man. Because
I
in
love
order
it.
to be great, you have to be confident. You got to know when you step on that field, I'm a dog.
Yep.
And you have to show me otherwise. So I love the mentality, man.
Sure.
Yeah, Matt, you have a bright future, man. I enjoyed this interview. You dropped a lot of great nuggets. I love the way your mind thinks and how you analyze things. And shout out to your parents for raising a tremendous, great kid who's going to not only do great things in sports, but going to do great things in the community. Enjoy this interview, man.
sir.
And today, that is a wrap.
You've been recruited, y'all.
You've been recruited.
Yep.